NFC West between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
So much of this game is still mental, still psychological. Yeah, we just saw a big-time run right there, but you have to believe he was dreaming about this last night in his hotel room before this one, thinking, hey, first time I touch it, let's go for some big yardage and set a tone. That's exactly what he got done.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. On third down, Robertson. Over the middle, it's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part. That in this one.
5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Set now to kick this one away. And he'll take this one near the 25. Call it the 26-yard line. Going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback, but in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player, so he can't get outside of you.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
They'll run it now out of the gun. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, boy, he fielded it right. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon.
I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He'll look to throw, and the Raiders have got him. Well, a free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. On 1st down, Robertson. Wide open receiver complete. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And he'll bang that one through. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
After that nice game there, for the rest of the game, the defense is going to have to respect the running backs as passing threats as well. Not just play them strictly to run the football. They may be able to get downfield and catch it, too.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept him on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something that broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right? You tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it. And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Now a handoff as they run left side. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, that's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Well, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. That time a 6-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the...
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Now, whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And tough starting field position here. On 1st and 10, Robertson throwing middle, and it's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they can.
Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and in throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all.
He's got daylight. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Broncos get a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see.
Right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now here's a carry heading left. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going for the deep ball. He's got it at the 15. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his second touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep him in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Throwing on first down, Robertson. That is caught at the 7. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back.
To throw on second down. Robertson flush to his right, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
A short gain was all he needed. He gets across the chalk for 6.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 46. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Robertson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. But for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. try and start this drive in the air. And this is incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. They'll look to throw here. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a 1-yard pick. On 4th down, Robertson. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule.
And that's caught at the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
And, yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the 4th in Cincinnati. And looks like the Bengals starting to pull away in that one. Dak Prescott, 2 touchdown passes in the W. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw here is incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Broncos will take over on downs. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now a desperation throw deep down, and this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Elsewhere, fourth quarter score now from Baltimore.